That's right. I'm on time. Don't even start. Ahem. Oh, yeah, we're live. We're live. So, get back here. This is too big. Yes, the syncs have been off the chain. You guys, normally I don't pay a lot of attention to the constant, especially numerology, time, receipts, bank account numbers like that. I usually don't. I try to avoid just being in that state of, oh my goodness, what's that? What's that? What's that? Lately, it's as if someone's trying to make sure I get the message. So if you have been feeling like there's a lot of signs and syncs lately, leave your favorite sync to see, whatever it is. If you can leave an emoji, if it's like some sort of thing. Butterflies are a huge sync for me, but I also know it's migration season. So, again, you know certain things and you realize certain things, but you guys know it's other stuff now. So leave that in the chat or the comments. I'm going to start to bless and shuffle. Again, I never do. Oh, wait. Hey, Loving Light, did you get your box? Because I totally forgot to send you your, what's that called? Tracking number. And I just want to make sure that you knew that you should have your box. All right, anyways, but I never do cut the video. One day I'm going to do it. Usually if I end up doing it, I end up going back and trying to remember all the videos I need to cut. But I'm going to pretend that I've been doing a great job cutting the videos, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce this video so that we don't have this part in the actual video, even though I think it's kind of fun. All right. Okay. Welcome to Ascent. Today we're here with a message from the Divine Masculine, and we're going to talk a little bit about why they know it's time. So let's find out. What is the main difference that you've noticed in your Divine Masculine, by the way? If there was anything going on lately that you've been able to see, what's the main change where you're like, oh, they're different? Because I've been noticing a lot of people saying, oh, my person is completely different. And it's interesting because it'll just be sometimes even in passing or just a quick exchange and they can just tell. So I'd like to know if you guys could elaborate a little bit more on that. All right, so let's look at what we got. 5 of Wands and the Moon. This is deep. This feels like there's something going on behind the scenes. I get the sense of the legacy of what Divine is doing behind the scenes. Let me see something. And the Hermit. And it kind of even has the sense of what the Divine Feminine has been doing. Interesting that I chose this deck. I almost grabbed the other deck with the 8, but I grabbed this one with the diamond instead. And it's funny because I think both of those actually have it where a lot of the figures are shifted into feminine figures rather than masculine figures. But it's just interesting. I think what the Divine Feminine has been doing, I also get a 9 of Pentacles vibe from this, has a lot to do with the energy shift. But I think it's also kind of a sign that says the Divine Feminine isn't the only one who has awareness, in spite of the fact that sometimes it might feel like you're the only one that has the awakening energies, okay? You're not the only one who's been working. You're not the only one who can sense things are changing and are different, all right? 3 of Wands. Interesting. Golden child vibes, bruh. Great strides forward. Seeing what's ahead and being able to strategize. And having a certain direction, the right direction. Yes, this is big legacy energy, guys. This is big king, emperor, big vibe. Eight of Swords. I have the feeling that the illusion is lifting. The eight energy, the karmic energy that comes from this number, but also the energy of abundance and manifestation, to me says this is the shift. This to me could signify third party situations ending. And that could mean ending, or that could mean ending. Okay, because, again, some things are not that easy to just be out from. All right. But mostly, what I think is more important than what outcomes happen in the 3D right away is the long term effects of lifting the illusion from the divine masculine. Wow, the world. Big shifts, big changes. Everything's different. This is 11. This is not the typical way that we would move into 11 energy. We are talking, yes, about manifestation and abundance, sure. But we're also talking about the initiation of divine gifts. And you can kind of see this thing. I think this is from the inside exploding out. But you could also imagine this as something kind of like floating in from wherever, from the ethers, and then like going into the person, and then it kind of just like, okay. So I feel like this is really big energy. This is big shift. This is, the veil is torn, the earthquake, earth shattering moment kind of stuff. So also be aware that if you are going through anything with your divine masculine, and remember, my readings are all timeless. And that's simply because of the fact that I tune into waves. So if you ever watch this in the future and you're like, oh man, why does this resonate? That's why. Don't worry about it. You guys, anytime someone actually ventures back to look at old readings, they're always like, this is crazy. I know, I try to tell you all the time, but okay. All right. So yes. So just remember that this right now is a time where your person may be feeling, the best way to say this? However they handle being overwhelmed, be ready for that, but escalated to, because now they're also confused and they also know that there's pressure. So think about how they handle those different feelings. And maybe you've seen them in a situation where they have that divine trifecta of, it's about to, we're making a diamond here. Okay. Maybe you've already seen them. And maybe you know that they always come out strong. Maybe you know that they come out weak. You know what I'm saying? Like they come out like a big baby. Okay. And you just need to be aware of that, but you also need to know how they're handling it in the midst of it, because this is not a short period of time. This is an explosion that has, again, the time of the thing kind of coming in, the time of the thing planting itself, and then the expansion. This is like a 3-part vibration for the divine masculine in terms of this shift. So just be ready for it, because I think what that means is they're going to have almost like, how there's some people where if I were to tell you that their behavior might come across as wishy-washy, or people throw around terms like bipolar a lot, right? But again, that wouldn't really be what was happening. Like if I told you that about some people, you'd think, well, they always act like that. But I'm warning you that some of you who have never seen your divine masculine go from extreme to extreme to another extreme to another. If you've never seen them like that, just be prepared. Because what I don't want to happen is for you to catch them on one of the bad extremes and think, oh, they've regressed. They are worse than I've ever seen. Because sometimes seeing them on those days can be scary. Okay. And I think that those days are less about you seeing them and trying, spirit trying to warn you off of them, and more about you putting aside reunion and all of that and it all. And basically, like in my spiritual belief, I would pray for them. Like I would take some time and really devote my energy to asking God on behalf of them to just be there, and knowing like what they need. I am calling your attention to this person. Like that's what I would do. And so I hope that if you ever catch them on a bad day right now, that you're willing to do that and just be prepared to send those good vibes in this time, because they're going to be there. Um, I can definitely sense lessons learned, and just I want you to think about that phrase and that vibe that comes with that feeling. Nobody really likes that. We in the end, we appreciate the lesson if we're wise and mature enough in, on the level of whatever the lesson is. Maybe we immediately can say, wow, thank you. But for the most part, it takes everyone a little while to look back and go, wow, I really learned. I can tell that that situation made me different. I appreciate it now. But not everyone notices that the blessing is in the lesson right away. And I think you need to understand that your divine masculine is really trying to move forward. Okay. What they have been dealing with, what they've been seeing, it's been holding them back for a long, long time. So, okay. All right. Yes, yes, this is the Mystic Mondays deck. It's funny because the girl's name is Grace that made it. And so I don't know. I think that's why I bought it. Actually, I like this look. Like I like clean, sharp lines and color. I don't know. There was something about this deck in particular I really, really liked. So I think that's why I bought it, because of just symmetry. There's just a lot of different things about it that I was like, yes, go ahead, Grace. I like this. And the only reason I use it is because it was Monday and I haven't been live on a Monday in forever. So yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and get a spread here. Woo, woo. If you're here and you haven't said anything in the chat, say hello. Don't forget, you guys, if you are interested in winning a free reading, all you have to do is leave your comment signature. Woo, 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 okay. Leave your comment signature in the, okay, all right. That's a good amount here. We're going to have a little message here. Leave your comment signature in the comment section of every video or post that you happen upon. And I will be going at the end of every month from now on, as long as the channel exists, and look for a comment signature to grant a free reading to. Hello, here you go. All right, cool. Oh, also, if you're interested in being compensated for being a book reviewer, make sure you check out the community tab post, because my book is out and I found out that reviews are the best way to get the ball rolling for possibilities of being a bestseller. So that's what we're working on right now. We've got a little review thing going. So check that out. All right. We're going to get the overall energy. And then we're going to just get a message here to find out what it is the Divine Masculine wants us to know about how things are shifting and why they are aware that we are the direction they're supposed to be headed in. Because I got to tell you something, a lot of Divine Masculines can get caught up in the fear that things are not going to go well, and I don't want to bring this person into it, or I don't want to start anything until I'm sure the ball is rolling and things are going well. Okay? Be aware that these people, especially if they are your true Divine Masculine, or even if they're not and they're just a decent person underneath any of their faults and flaws, they see you and they believe that you deserve better than whatever they're doing in most cases. And they do tend to avoid hurting you. So keep these things in mind, okay? I know it can be tough, but there is some reality to it. Even a person who has hurt you in the past can use distance as a way to protect you and not harm you and give you time to heal and give themselves time to grow without it being any kind of punishment to you, even though, again, they may have used it in the past in their old ways. I get it. But again, I want you to be able to see that side of things if you've been struggling with that, okay? So overall, what's the most important thing the Divine Masculine needs us to understand? Well, shut the front door. It's the Empress. I'm thinking about this reading and the point of the reading, and I'm kind of like, dang. Make sure you like this video, guys. People need to see this one. The readings lately have been pretty nuts. I got a feeling. I'm just saying we've been dealing with some really strong like king vibes. I said that for this freaking there's something happening. I told you I sense the emperor, and it's like they need you to see they sense the empress. Yo, this is weird. What we got back here? And the 8 of Wands, that's 11. This is nuts. This is nuts. This is okay. And okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. So, okay, Grace, calm down. We have 8 and 3 again, but it's reversed. And this is a more standard way we would see 11 in a sync, right? 8 and 3. Like you guys, when I finished my book, it was 83. It was like 83,830 words. I posted it and I don't think anybody noticed when I shared it. I just shared like the word count. But that's a standard way you might see 11 formed. So I think it's interesting that the divine masculine's way of coming into their initiation vibe, their starting point of being a true divine masculine, a true emperor, for them is more about something being bestowed upon them, like a blessed gift, like them receiving their gifting through this karmic shift and the manifestation that occurs from wanting the equal and opposite of the deep dark valley that they just came from. Everything that happens there is this rocket ship up. Okay, then you've got the divine feminine who has this dope just wave, this flow energy. And I loved that we see this person and it feels like they're just doing their thing, right? They look like life is effortless. They're on the wave. They're doing goodness knows what. Just beast moding it out, okay? But you don't see that this is really what's happening. Like, this is really how they're moving. They're making things flow. There is no delay in their life. The way that they go about things is kind of equal and opposite to how the divine masculine handles stuff. This could also be an indication of why the divine feminine collective tends to misunderstand the divine masculine's journey. And again, that's no disrespect to any of you or even me. We are opposite. Okay, we yin and yang, we are opposite. And when we look at them through our lens from the direction that we stand, we just don't get it. But when we can look at it through the eyes of divine and consider why one needs to be one way and then, to create the other, it's like, it's really interesting how it all makes sense. So to see the 8, the manifestation is behind the divine feminine. The divine masculine, they had to have the manifestation sitting in front of their face in the sense of something karmic blocking them and tricking them and messing with them, because that is what would make a divine masculine get riled up enough. At first they get defeated and then they get pissed, okay? For the divine feminine, we may have gone through a period that was similar for us in our own way, but in our higher vibration, once we've started to awaken, this is how we move. We move with divine up front. We move with the manifestation following, because we set the vision such a long time ago that things are still unfurling in their own wavelength as they need to everywhere we go. The divine feminine, you see their fruit of their labor, of all the goodness in them, and you can sense the urgency in their spirit to share the light. So I love that the divine masculine kind of comes in and says, I need you to understand something, my love. I see you. I've always seen you. And I've always seen you this way. Mr. Lightwork explained that to me. And I think it's really weird. You guys, we don't really watch each other's readings, okay? So when I tell you that, I need you to understand that if you see signs and syncs in between the readings you've been watching from us on this channel lately, yeah, exactly. We don't, okay. So, but we do talk about them, especially now that he's been putting readings on my channel. I kind of need to know what they are in order to set everything up. And so I say, what's this one about? What's going on? And he explains it. Sometimes I might explain something that I explained in a reading, but other times I might even just say, I had a thought, or an idea or whatever. And he says, oh, I just told them that in a reading. So Mr. Lightwork and I, we move in a very similar way. And sometimes when we're together, you don't need to hear from both of us because you're going to hear the same things. I need you to understand that at first it wasn't really like that. But now Mr. Lightwork moves in the light, and everything he does is about sharing and spreading this light. You have to understand that your divine masculine may not start off in that space, but they see you. And one of the things he explained to me was that he never sees me for the things I look at myself and think I made a mistake. I'm taking too long. This isn't good enough. I'm not being consistent. Whatever I'm being hard on myself about, the things that I'm kind of like ashamed when, you have a partner with you that sees all this stuff, especially because we live together, we work together. We are still in quarantine, essentially. We don't do nothing. We see everything and we experience everything together. And that can be a really vulnerable place to be. For Mr. Lightwork to explain to me constantly that idea of putting the divine feminine on a pedestal, that he still doesn't see me for those mistakes no matter how long we've been together. It's going on 4 years now. He still only sees me this way. So this is important. Because no matter who the divine masculine is, no matter if they're awakened or not, don't think that they're blind. Just because they act blind, okay? Don't think that they're blind. I want you to understand that they see you. They know who you are. They know what's up. I'll put this up here. So you are the Empress, and they've been watching you do your thing. Even though you may not feel like you've been doing your thing, they can see you. So what is it that they want you to know? And we're going to start, I'm going to flip these over all together. Oh, I think I saw that now that I think about it, but that came out in the energy. Whoa. You guys, the moon, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Cups, 1888. Sorry, 1888. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wouldn't that be weird if it spelled out a phone number and then we looked up the phone number and then there was, okay, anyways, all right, that's weird. Okay, so 1888 does still to me though feel like there's a call being made, okay? I don't know about anybody else, but I definitely feel like that sync is not something we can ignore, especially given the fact that the card on the bottom back here is also an 8, okay? So look at this person and think about this situation. You see someone sitting on an iceberg, cold, naked, looking forward. And remember, we saw the 3 of Wands in our energy, and that person, there was no person, but there wasn't this energy of divine plan and decision, okay? But here, I think this person is really considering, and I don't know why, but I get the sense that they've been thinking about this for a long time, okay? Things have passed. 2 moons have passed, if any of my New Girl fans out there. Now, we also see this person and they're painting and they're doing their thing and they're creating different things. Okay, 8 of Pentacles vibes. There is something here to me that says these are all the divine feminine. And there's one other point where we see this person now here. And they've put their hair up. They've kind of changed. Again, nothing against people with dark hair or buns or anything like that. But it's like you have your hair down. And it's almost as if you've gotten... Whoa, look at this. You've gotten further and further away from yourself, from the sea, from your emotional truth. And you try to go in and pour your creativity into other things, but it doesn't feel as fulfilling as it should for some reason. And by the time you end up here, now you're looking for something more. And I think that throughout this time, the divine masculine was not calling you. This kind of feels like the divine masculine's lens. Like we're looking at them looking at you, which kind of is confirmed here. And it's also confirmed when you think about the fact that we started the vibe with king energy. What is my legacy going to be? What am I here to do? What am I meant to be? And it's almost like the story where they caught you in the beginning at your best doing your thing. And the truth is you're probably back there now or headed back there. But there was most likely, if you were on my tribe, or on, I'm sorry, not in my tribe, but on my wave, because not everybody in my tribe is on my wave. But some of you like identify with me and Mr. Lightwork's story to a point where it's eerie, and we've heard them from numerous people, so we know that that's why we believe in them. Even Mr. Lightwork, who's skeptical as DM, with most DMs will be, even he believes in the wave part. It's very interesting. So yeah, I do. I think this is kind of like we're looking at the story of you, of your light kind of dimming, and then really you trying to create, but nothing came out the way you wanted it to. And you finally you go back and all you see is the emotional blockages stopping you from reaching this place of fullness. And all this time they didn't call. All this time they didn't call, or when they did and they did check in, they could see you trying your best. And I even get the sense here of what the reason why at this point you want more and want to do something different is because when you get here, this does not feel fulfilling. You came here to try to repeat the feeling. I wonder what this is about. What do you think this is about? If anybody's like interested in possibly sharing that, because I know again this can be a vulnerable thing to share about, but what could this be where you tried to either reignite, recreate, to duplicate or imitate the time or the vibe, but you couldn't get it quite right. What is that? What is that? Pocahontas said, "You can't walk through the same river twice. The water's always changing, always flowing." It's like you tried to go back. Oh my goodness gracious. Yo, by the way, you guys, I messed up bad in a channeling the other day. I got distracted by the chat and thought that must have been what was being said. And I got pounded with this freaking song until I finally looked it up and realized I was in the wrong verse. It was a verse that I did not really know as well as I knew the other verse. And so I thought it was the wrong verse. So, anyways, if the song "I Want You," if you remember that song, if that song resonates, you need to go look it up because there's a part where he talks about the mirror that I cannot believe like I totally got the wrong verse. But anyways, all right. So looking at this, I feel like I was supposed to tell you about a song, Pocahontas. I feel like I should look up Pocahontas, but I'm not gonna do it. But I do get the sense of the divine feminine shrinking and trying to fit into a certain situation, and the whole time the divine masculine isn't present. And I think this is a period where, because this by itself, oh well, this one even kind of wants to be by itself. These kind of feel like little moments in time along the journey, and I wonder where's the point where the divine masculine can't see you. How do they know that this is happening? And again, if this was you receiving a phone call each of these times and they felt that you were different, did you know that you were different? Because if you weren't able to see through your lens that you were as light as you were already when you guys first met or whatever, then I wonder if you could even notice that your light was dimming in the first place. Whereas they would notice something like that. So, okay. All right. This is interesting. Let me see if anybody. I don't think. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go here. So I saw you struggling with a choice, trying to not think about it, avoiding it, trying to focus on other things, or even trying to learn as much as you could learn before you did make that choice. But then by the time you came back to try to make the choice, it wasn't an option anymore, or it didn't feel as emotionally fulfilling to even choose either. Something shifted. Whoa. Four of Pentacles. So then you stood still And the divine masculine was still here too. Hold on. This needs we need the book. Oh, and it opened right to it. Oh, okay, you guys, let's get it. Okay. Materialism. Didn't somebody just say that in the chat? Look at this. Look at this. Loving light. Material things don't make happiness. I don't know why you said that. I don't know. I don't know what just happened. Go, Grace, read. Prioritizing self-interest over everything else can easily turn into greed. Frugal spending for fear of losing it all has you clinching on tightly to your existing capital with no room for error. You're on a conquest to gain more with the rationale that more stuff means more emotional and financial security. Material gains are not the answer to your problems. All work and no play blocks out any hopes for any real relationships. Make time for yourself. You deserve to enjoy your earnings from time to time. Don't let money control you and your decisions. Know that no matter how much money you have and whatever amount of stuff you can buy, it will not be what ultimately fills you up. Wow, talking about your fullness. Wait a minute now. Look toward what makes you passionate and makes money. Now that's a game changer. That is a message for the divine feminine. That is a message for the divine masculine. Divine masculine needs to understand that there is a more loving, or love-filled way to approach their kingdom. The King of Pentacles without the Queen of Pentacles is a cold, rigid, hard king that no one wants to be a part of that kingdom, okay? If you're there, it's because you stuck, okay? They're the dark kingdom. But when the Queen arrives and brings the light, it just, everything turns to color. So it's interesting that we see the message for the DM. The DF needs to hear this as well, because DF, listen, your divine masculine is going to want more from life. Even if that doesn't mean becoming a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, it could mean still wanting more than what maybe you are at this time interested in or care to work for, whatever, but they do. And if you are already a hustler and you're on your grind, keep going, keep grinding it out, do your thing, because this is necessary for you to be able to be a good partner as a light worker. You both need to have the abundance mindset. Now I have to read this again. And I'm going to change the words a little bit. So just hear me out, okay? Prioritizing divine masculine over everything else can easily turn into greed. For fear of losing it all, you're clinching tightly onto your divine masculine with no room for error. You're on a conquest to gain your divine masculine with the rationale that more divine masculine time in your life means more emotional and financial security. Your divine masculine is not the answer to your problems. All work and no play in your twin flame journey blocks out any hopes for any other relationships, including the possibility of your partnership with your DM. You have to make time for yourself. The Queen of Pentacles makes time for herself and handles situations in a sensible manner. You deserve to enjoy your own blessings and energies and manifestations from time to time. Don't let your divine masculine or your twin flame journey control you or your decisions. Know that no matter when your divine masculine shows up or how much time you spend with them, whatever you have will not fill you up. It is what you are able to offer or to give. So look towards the things that make you passionate and allow you to enjoy time with your divine masculine. Now that is a game changer. Boom, I just read what wasn't there. All right, now. Let's move. I'm gonna move because I know sometimes people be like, Grace, that wasn't even in the book. We gonna move. We go through the process. We stall out. Because now nothing feels fulfilling. This is the divine masculine's inner feminine, I think, as well. And I think the DF was dealing with the same thing. And I think that was by design. I don't think that you did anything wrong or failed in any way. I think this was exactly how this period was designed. Both of you, we get to the Four of Pentacles energy and there's this stall out. There's this energy of I was in the process of building my divine kingdom. When you and your divine masculine activated each other, something happened. And I think that some of you who have been dealing with false twins or, again, just misplaced labels of divine masculine on someone who isn't really your DM, I think you need to understand that, to me, in my professional experience, it doesn't take your real divine masculine to activate you. It takes a divine masculine to activate you. And the person that you may think is your real DM may be a divine masculine. Do you understand that? So just remember that this activation just had to happen. You had to have some sort of twin flame vibration occur. But that is, to me, what makes certain people karmics. Okay. And when we use that label, I apply that label to people who are both twin flames, but they're not each other's twin flame, and that don't work. It can be real chaotic. Okay. Because your energies are like, are they like a black hole? It's like you're sucking into each other, but then there's also like this vacuum of, anyway. So it's, you were activated, so were they. And as we go through time, we see this kind of dipping down into, the calling of our soul. Like, what is wrong? What's going on here? Something's up. I can't feel it. I can't sense it. In fact, I think a lot of people got here thinking that the divine masculine would be the thing that gave them the fulfillment. And some of you had the opportunity to have a little bit of a union, sort of, and it really wasn't it. It really wasn't it. It wasn't what you thought it was. And it's not to say that they weren't enough or that they weren't your person. It was simply that they were never meant to be the thing that fulfilled you. Just like you're not the thing that, okay, I'm gonna say it. I literally covered my mouth because I don't know what to say it. But the truth is, you're not the thing that is your divine masculine's ultimate fulfillment. It is your mission together that will make you two so enamored with each other. To look across at the person who makes your mission possible and to have that equal look at each other, like, if without you, I couldn't do this. That's what brings two people, whether you are exactly the same or opposites, that's what brings two people together and makes it work. So don't look at this stopping point or any of this beginning period of your dynamic and think, oh man, why did it have to be like this? Or we must be on the bad wave. No, I think this is a vast majority of the twin flame collective. So what happens? We'll flip these together. Right? Didn't we these? I feel like these keep getting moved. Okay. All right. Whoa. Okay. That's interesting. We have Strength and the Queen of Swords. And I tell you what, I feel like those are supposed to be like that. But no, they aren't. They are perfectly in order. They're supposed to be exactly like that. Why? Because this person is journeying and the strength is behind them. And we keep having this energy of this 8. Look at that. We have an 8 back here, an 8 back here, an 8 here, an 8 here, and then we have the moon here, okay? Again, we have this kind of 18 energy here if we flip those. But this person has the strength behind them. And I love the fact that we end up with the Queen of Swords. We have this vibe of enough is enough. Like, I put my hand up and you see the choices are here. And you see it's almost like this person finally found the place. It's almost as if as well, like, you see they got stuck here. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the King of Cups, because you see she's sitting in the middle of this thing in the middle of the water. You see the reflection, like this is obviously the water, but then here you can see these pyramids. It's a different time of day. There's light shining. And you can see that she's walking on this, but she's barefoot and it looked like diamonds, but I think this is ice. I feel like you were out in the cold for so long that at first, wow, there it is. At first, you started to slip down. I feel like this is definitely applying to the divine masculine for real too. At first you started to give up, and then you came out of it a warrior. And you came out, think about it, where else can a white tiger survive but out in the mountains here? This just happens to be the sun rising behind them, to bring in this light. I love this. I love this energy. This is beautiful, because I also feel like this is your true companion as a twin flame. Your own strength is your true companion. Because the thing is, there are going to be moments where your divine counterpart is down and out, right? Not every human being can give 100% every day. And sometimes there are days where people can give zero. People, let's call it 1% because they're breathing, okay? And in those days, it will be your own strength that gets you through, not just for you, but for them. And so it's really interesting to see that after sitting, after being stuck, you come out of the, and you're like the what's it called? The Yeti? Not the Yeti. What's that called? Is it a Yeti? The abominable snowman? You're like Bigfoot. Yeah, I don't know, but my point. Oh, you know what? I just remember we had the hermit card that showed up too, and this could be exactly that. You went into that space and you didn't realize that the only way to get back to the exact same river was to go where the water froze or when the water froze. So you thought that you were brought into the darkness and into the cold and into this sunken place for some sort of bad reason. But it was actually so that when the water finally froze again, you could literally walk to the place you wanted to go to make the choice. And this time you would be that much stronger. Not only do you have your support, this could have been a card where you were naked, but you got armor and a sword, bruh. You gotta look at your headband. Look at your freaking dope headband. Headbands are in now, honey. Let me tell you. This is interesting. I see for the divine feminine coming out of this energy and feeling like you finally have closure on the conflict, even without having to speak to your divine masculine about it. Again, I'm not trying to excuse your divine masculines from any that do need to kind of talk things through and explain things or whatever. But there is so much that you are going to understand. Like, one thing that happened as Mr. Lightwork and I had our time to like sit down, our sit down period to me lasted well into this year, even because we had to move and there was just so much going on. And then I hadn't really wrote the book yet. Like it was just sitting, I had it halfway done for so long and there were so many things. And then it just, after the 8-8 portal brought, everything exploded. I don't know about y'all. And there's these 8s. And I think it's interesting to see now how I can look at him, because one of the things that we found out is that both of us most likely have undiagnosed adult ADHD, and we have the two opposite types, which is hilarious. If again, it's like it happened for a reason. But when I found that out, you guys, there was so much from the past that I don't need to talk to him about it now. Like there was things that I think that I was like, maybe one day we'll talk about that. Cause there's stuff that we still like, don't really have any reason to go back and rehash or whatever. And then there are things that might come up. Sometimes we talk about it and it's cool. You guys, there's just things now that because of this period that forced us to figure out our shit, okay? That we came out like, I can't even explain it. There were things that I was insecure about because of how Mr. Lightwork and I started that I didn't realize I had become insecure, and it was something I'd never dealt with before. So I didn't even realize that it was happening until I was the only way I could describe it. I still don't feel like that's exactly what it was, but that's the only way to describe it. So it must have been. And it's so funny that those things got lifted during this period that I think I would look at and be like, bruh, of all the movement and momentum I had on my twin flame journey, this period sucked. Like, this sucked. Why would this even have to happen? And it's like, look at this. Look at the difference. Look at this return to royalty, to standing up, So I hope that this helps you guys sometimes to hear about where Mr. Lightwork and I have been. I know some people are like, hey, just read the cards, but this isn't really what we're here to do, all right? We're not here to just glorify promoting us looking at these images and being like, yep, here you go. Here's more images. We're here to provide you with the intuitive messages as well as the 3D experience that many of you will experience soon. And you need to know that it's real, it's possible. And if there's been struggles or strife or problems, that doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. Okay. Mr. Lightwork and I are both enlightened individuals. We work with people, we have coaching sessions, and we do readings, and we do phone calls, we do all these things. And we still are growing every single day. And the reality is, we will never stop. So if there's anyone out there who's been teaching you that this will never again be followed by another day like this or another moment like this, don't let them lie to you and make you think in the future that you were never a beast, that you never really got there, that it was all just a facade, that you were just no, bruh. There is roller coaster vibes. There's different levels to things. Think about mountains. Mountains go up and down, honey. So I just want you to make sure that when you see this and you see that the divine masculine sees you and your shift and your change, some of you are looking at this and don't believe it. But let me ask you how you handled that Mercury retrograde. Don't tell me how it was. Tell me how you feeling right now. Because look, man, I was distracted because I was working and stuff. Like I was blessed to have the distraction of finishing my book during that period. I was blessed. Because if I was getting upset, I would be like, you know what? Nope, let me just, and I would go into my head or into my book or like actually write or whatever I need to do some research about what publisher, blah, 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 bruh, something. So let me ask you that. You just had a moment, right? For a lot of people, this was not fun. Some people, it was beautiful. Some people, it wasn't. And if it was bad, it was bad, bad. And yet, look at you. You don't get it yet. You don't see it yet. But you being able to move through these moments in such a dignified way that doesn't feel dignified in the moment because you're thinking the fact that I'm even going through this must mean I've done something. It's like, no. This was the design. This was the divine plan. And it appears that the divine masculine now looks at you and knows that it's go time. Why? Because both of you keep ending up in the same places, even if it's, in parallels or like opposite spaces in the same dimension, but you're just away from each other. You're going through the same energetic shift. So, okay, you both are coming out with this new sense of strength. Divine masculine, I will say, has their armor on. And I think that this might be a little bit of a dangerous spot for divine feminine because they're feeling very fierce right now. So just be aware of that you don't need to meet their fierceness with fierceness. If you remember, you might want to check out are there two kings or what was the title? Are there two lions in your house or something like that? I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically it was saying, has being forced to be very masculine, because some of us have very masculine societies. Some of us don't. Some of us, are not expected to behave in a masculine way. But American women can be very masculine because we are forced into the position. And so if you feel like you've been in that place, I know a lot of people resonated with that were single moms, having to kind of be like dad, or having to kind of stand in the masculine space for sons or something like that. So it's like, if you know what that feels like, and you question sometimes even if you are the DM when you're listening to readings, this is a time where you really want to learn to manage your inner feminine and inner masculine in a better way, in a more effective way, because you may have your inner masculine show up and try to butt heads with your real DM in real life at a time where, and deservingly so, maybe they're coming at you kind of masculine. You're like, yo, and your defenses kick in natural and you just start talking because you got the same Bengal tiger behind them. You got the same one too, child, the white tiger right behind you, and y'all both ain't scared. Okay. And so it's like, that's not how we want to work this out. All right. We want to go tell our tiger to calm down, and tell our tiger to go wave its tail in front of the other tiger. And maybe we wave our tail in front of our divine masculine. And we need to just lower the temperature in the room a little bit if we've got someone who's boiling over, rather than trying to add fuel to the fire. Okay. That's where we need to be. This is not about being an ice queen. This is about being cool headed. This is about being so cool you could walk around actually, I'm not going to lie. Her feet do look kind of purple. So maybe don't stay in there forever. Am I tripping? But don't her feet look kind of purple? We might need to talk to Grace about changing. I feel like she might need to get off of this. No, they just dirty because she was walking through this purple snow. That's all it is. This snow is purple. All right, Grace, let's keep going. All right, so interesting to see this shift. I think we're gonna flip these together. We come out stronger after this dip. What's the point of this? I mean, we see the DM, we're looking through their lens right now. This might be telling us that because they could see us, they knew we were in the same place. Interesting. I will say this. Some of you may have experienced already this energy in the around this period, and you, by standing up to your DM, may have actually already shifted something within them, because when you didn't back down this time, I'm not talking about those of you who always be fighting with your DM. No, I'm talking about those of you who would never stand up for yourself, who would never shut them down, who would never block them. Some of you have already initiated the awareness shift here. Some of you, your actions are what made them get here or realize they were here. So that's interesting. Okay. So now what do we need to know? Wow. 7 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Swords. Okay. I like this. So 7 of Wands says, stand up and defend what you believe in. And it makes me kind of giggle because we just, right, like we got our strength here. And now we burst through the door like, what's goody? You see the sun behind us? You see our hair's loose? Okay, I'm just saying. Now, mind you, she done put her hair down, okay? Her hair is down. It's a part of her armor or something, okay? So obviously we've already started. But it's almost like our inner fire is coloring our hair here. So we, here we didn't really need it. We were in our space and we was vibing. But then when we got vulnerable, this was all we had to keep us warm. And then we lost it. And so we put it up. We didn't even need our glory anymore. But here we felt like we were coming back out of it. And by the time we finally got some damn leggings on, happy National Leggings Day, and you see we done changed from purple, the pursuit of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, in that crown chakra opening. Now we're rooted, grounded in our truth, following our heart. And bruh, I tell you what, we're not afraid. We're back to who we were. Look at this. I feel like we're almost home, really, because look at that. To me, this goes with this energy, right? It's like this is the same ocean, and we just have to get past this barrier. But we're headed home. We remember. We in here. Look at how big and how close this freaking sun, or you could even call this a blood moon, is, okay? So we see someone who comes in and says, let's stand up. To me, this takes me back to the last 3 or 4 lives where we talked about this. I think I might have even, did you guys, if anybody's here who watched the exclusive, didn't I talk about this? Wasn't the 7 of Wands a really important card in the exclusive readings? I feel... And you know what? It was called the Immortal Visionaries. And I'm just thinking about wow. So, okay, focus, Grace. Anyways, so we have this energy where the person comes back and now they're ready. They're full. Their fire is back on. And you see this come through, I think, as this combination of worlds. Look at this. You see she's standing on something, and then there's this. She's defeating, and everything's coming together. As a matter of fact, that may even be where this green is traveling up, this red is traveling down, and then you see this combination, okay? You see the purple and the red together. And it's like she's going through a portal or something, and it takes her and it drops her here. That's how she gets out. That's how she returns. And I wonder what portal this is that the Divine Masculine is going to go through as well. Because if we talk about this from their perspective, if they've seen you stand up and return, then maybe this is telling you that they're going to go through the same portal. And if this is where you return to being the Empress, then who would they return as? They would return as the Emperor. This says things are looking up. Things are getting better. Look ahead with happiness and joy. And I feel like to see that with the Wheel of Fortune and you defending what you believe in, defending everything you stand on, I don't know, I just get this really strong sense that this is something that you manifested long ago. This to me, this is almost like getting back to your old life, except everything that you were supposed to have for the past several years is finally there. Does that even make that's I feel like it makes sense in my head. But it's like okay, again, forgive me, but y'all, it's like Job. It's like that whole time after everything got taken away from Job, where Job had no idea what was going to happen. God knew he was going to give him back everything times a million, whatever, times 10, times 7, times 100. He knew he was going to give him back, not even give him back, because it's not like he got the same stuff back. He got better stuff, better kids, a better wife, something more suited for them. And so it's interesting because it's just this feeling of the divine feminine and the divine masculine they both took the leap. They both jumped. But the divine feminine was better able to handle this separation journey than the divine masculine was. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know why I'm like kind of like, bruh? Because I don't know. There's this weird sense here that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and these are connected. And it's almost like the way through the portal is to knock down the things in your way that are stopping you from making the progress forward. The only way through the portal is to go straight in, because these are the swords that the other, it's like you're going straight into the conflict. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you remember when I said, wait, did I just say that or did I say that earlier? Where did I say something about the black hole? Did I say that in this reading? I'm confused. What did I say about a black hole? If I just said that here, my bad. If I'm just like repeating what I just said. But I feel like that's what I said. I saw it before I saw it. Why did I say it? I don't know. That's weird. I said something about the divine masculine, divine feminine kind of consuming, or the relationship consuming them. I don't know. That's frustrating. I feel like that's really important. But maybe that might be the point, is that we were doing the opposite. Like we were so close to, you see the water and the sun are like overlapping. We were so close, but then the divine feminine got distracted. Like she got stranded. She met the divine masculine on her path she was already on. Dang, that resonated. Oh my gosh, that resonates, y'all. Do you guys know where I met Mr. Lightwork? I met him at a poetry event. Like, I was at that time, I was really, really deep into the local artistry scene in Tampa. That's like when I got home from Vegas after I got separated, the first thing I did was I went to a comedy show by myself, and then I just started showing up to different events. And then the one that Mr. Lightwork was at was the one I decided I was going to stick at. And it was a poetry thing, but they let me perform comedy. They let me do a monologue once. I didn't have to pay after my first few times going. Like, they just let me in, and it was like that everywhere I went. I just was connected to all the biggest people in the city. And then I got with Mr. Lightwork and I just disappeared. Now, I, to this day, probably could walk into any event and it'd be like, oh my gosh, it's Fiery Grace. But my point is, I fell off hard and was probably on my way to creating that book series. Like, I mean, the book was already prepared like in 2015. That was 2017 that I'm talking about now. So I'm just thinking, for me personally, I was so close to bringing the 3D and the 5D into oneness, bro. I was so close, bruh. But you know the truth? You want to know the real freaking truth? What I was missing? I had the mind state that everything would just flow and I did not have to worry about um like making money, and that was dumb. That was a dumb way to go about it. But everything ended up becoming like that when I started doing this. So again, I got to say, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. You guys, you need to think back to the beginning of your journey. But right around the time you met your person, what were you on? What were you doing? Because when I tell you to see the story that just played out and how the divine feminine seemed to be the primary character. Ooh, and you know what? Mr. Lightwork always says that. And it's so weird. And okay, Mr. Lightwork always talks about how he feels like he is, well, he used to feel like he was an actor, but like a side actor in his life, like not the main character of his life. He always felt like that. And so how weird is it though? I didn't like that. But then do you remember when Wendy Williams attacked Tabitha Brown and made her even more famous? Foolish Wendy. Um, so, so Tabitha Brown is this lady who said that when she first started building her empire, she and her husband decided that it would be more feasible for her to build her empire and do her thing than whatever either he had planned or whatever. Maybe he didn't have an idea yet. And so they agreed that they would build her empire first, which would be their empire, but they were going to kind of focus on her first. Well, that's what Mr. Lightwork and I kind of ultimately have decided to do. But in the beginning, especially being a twin flame, that wouldn't have felt right. But now looking at this, I'm thinking, maybe the divine masculine, that's because, so then, my bad, I didn't complete the story. So the reason Wendy Williams went after Tabitha Brown is because Tabitha, after 10 years of building and doing everything she was doing, she put out a post and said, y'all, I'm going to retire my husband. Now, I thought she meant she was going to divorce him and thought it was a very hilarious way to say that. But it actually turns out that what she meant was he had gotten a job like as a cop. It wasn't really his dream, but he went and just got something, a good, decent career so that he could, really focus more on her. And so she helped him retire so that now he could do his thing. And for some reason, I don't watch Wendy Williams. I don't know why, but she flipped out about it or something. And so I thought it was interesting that they devoted that and they believed in that. And they like imagine the husband not being able to see himself with her for that long and thinking, why would I do that with you when we could get divorced in 10 years and then I got nothing, maybe I'll get some alimony, but I put my whole life on the line. But nope, that's not how they saw it. And now he gets his chance and he gets to build his kingdom with the foundation of her being a millionaire. And I think it's interesting to see that there is this story that at least for the separation period, at least for the early part of this particular dynamic, the divine feminine was the one who, frankly, oh my goodness, don't get mad, but you're the one who slipped up. You're the one who had the mission. You're the one who had more to offer the world than they did. You're the one who was alive and not alive, but awakened and knew about light work. You're the one who had the heart and you have been the center of this story. And what's so wild is that we watch as divine feminines, when we watch tarot, we mostly watch readings about DM. We're trying to make them the main character of our story, but baby, it's us. And the divine masculine is trying to communicate to you that all along, they've been watching your movie. It's not their movie yet. This is wild. This is real wild. Okay, I've been on for a really long time, so I should probably go on and get... Oh my gosh, it's only been an hour? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm doing so good. Isn't that amazing? I only did it for an hour. Oh, and it was just 11:11 and I missed it. Oh my goodness. Whatever, 11:11. Okay, so you guys, in about 46 minutes, my book will be officially released on Amazon, Google, no, not Google. Google Play is still reviewing it. They said it takes almost 12 days. I'm like, I wish I would have known that. Anyways, so on Amazon you can print it or get the Kindle version of it, and you don't have to have the Kindle, like a Kindle to do it. If you have any phone or any tablet, like I have the Kindle app on my iPhone, and I know they have one for Android as well. So if you're interested in reading it and you don't have a Kindle, but you know are able to and would like to, then you can purchase it on Amazon and just read it anywhere. And then there's also Kobo or Kobo, Kobo, which I just found out means that if you use Walmart as your ebook provider, which I didn't even realize it's like a huge, they have their own thing. Like Amazon has Kindle, Barnes and Noble, who I'm also with, has Nook. And then Walmart has Kobo, which it's not, they don't have Kobo, but they've partnered with them. And that's their version of like an e-reader. So I just found out that I can be searched when you go to the Walmart e-reader section. You can find me on freaking Walmart. I feel so weird. I thought it was crazy enough to be on Amazon, but to be on Amazon and Walmart, first of all, to be in Barnes and freaking Noble, y'all, bruh. Do you know my mom is still probably a super reader nerd, but bruh, my mother used to take us to the Barnes and Noble, and she would go sit and read books, and I would go sit and read books, and just like, bruh, I'm in Barnes and Noble, bruh. And then and Apple Books. That's it, right? That's everything. And then, like I said, I'm waiting for Google Play. So if you're interested in reading any of these things, there is a hardback or a paperback and a hardcover that's going to come out. It's already, everything's set up. I'm just waiting for all these places to approve. Their print services take a little bit longer, I guess, to approve. But Amazon should be ready. I'm not sure why it's not up yet, but it's ready to go. It's ready to go. So thank you guys, because this is why I started this ministry. You know, everybody as a light worker, you should have your primary and then your like your over under I don't know what to call it, but I want to write. I want to give speeches and write. That's what I want to do. And to be able to kind of do it here, like this is almost like giving speeches with props, I guess, you know. It's not really, because it's more intuitive, but you know what I mean, like, right? So it's like being able to do this for all these years and meet with you guys and share and be a light worker and actually be able to make a living doing it, to be able to offer all these, I mean, giveaways and prizes and free readings to people and free readings on YouTube. And I mean, just to be able to do all of this, to create this tribe and this place that we've created that would also allow me in between freaking readings. Isn't it funny though that it was the technical issues that actually gave me the time? Because I've wanted to write this. I had already written part of the book. I needed to finish writing this book for a very, very long time. And I would always just be like, no, I feel guilty not writing, or feel guilty not doing the readings if I have people on the booking list. Like I feel bad. If I have the energy and I have the time, then I should do it. So it got to a point where there was just even Mr. Lightwork, his mic went out. We started having all these technical issues and all this stuff happened to where I would only be able to record a certain number per day. And then I would have to wait on processing. And so I would just write in between. Like that's what I would spend my time doing. And so it was amazing that even divinely, everything got set up to where it just worked. So I just love you guys. And if you're interested, I am doing, like I said, paid reviewing. So I found out that I can offer compensation. So if you do any review at all, like even if you, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but even if you just wanted to give me 1 star or really thought the book was that terrible, then I am going to give you a reading. And then it up to, it increases in value up to the 5-star, with or without comments. So like if you actually write something and just, talk about the book or whatever, then you'll get the biggest available compensation. But if you just want to just leave 5 stars, then you still get a good compensation, because I realize that it's totally okay for me to give people who give me higher ratings more, but it's not telling you that you have to do that. So I don't really get how everyone's real sneaky and everything seems really tricky, and like obvious, but that's what we're supposed to do. So okie dokie. Like, so yeah. So all the information you need to know about that is in the what's that called? The community tab. And I think that's everything about the reviewers. If I'm gonna send an email out. So if you've already emailed me tonight, I will email you today or tomorrow with the rest of the information about being a reviewer. So just be on the lookout for that. And then honestly, if you ever see this video in the future and you've given me a review and you didn't know that there was compensation, just shoot me an email with a screenshot and I will send you your payment. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, you know what else? Hey guys, I also do these readings. I also have this YouTube channel and it's me. I'm Fiery Grace here. I also do these things and I also would like you to subscribe to my channel. You know, I usually don't ask you guys for stuff, but I guess I am asking you guys for stuff like liking my channel and stuff. All right. And this is my website, thefierygrace.com. And don't forget that Lightworker sessions are on sale right now. And don't forget that love letters are on sale. DM readings are on sale. And I think that's it. Everything else. Is that everything? I can't remember now. But okay, and there's also exclusives. All right, I did an ad. All right, so I love you guys. I feel like I should do something. Oh, look, wait, look. This is my proof, you guys. Isn't this amazing? Oh my gosh. Look, isn't this? I don't like this. How dare they, right? How dare they do this? But you guys. Oh, and look, you guys, can you see this? Steffo did that. She did the face. I did the background. I didn't do the background. The background is a picture, but I put the picture on the background. Look, I did the works of stuff. Yeah, you guys, this is real. This is real life. Okay. I love you guys. I love you. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in reading this, I just want to make it very clear that this is a twin flame book, but I ask that you do not use the word twin flame in the reviews so that you do not tip people off, because the purpose of this book is for us to be able to share it with non-twin flames and help them understand sacred relationships. And it really wouldn't make much sense if they thought it was just for twin flame. Oh no, I know what that. Oh, I've heard about that twin flame stuff. What do you think I'm going to do? Shadow work? I don't know what you're trying to bring over here with all that crazy twin flame stuff. So yes, just remember. Okay, okay, there is mental health awareness, social justice, and twin flames for this particular book series. That is what's underneath the plot and the story, okay? Don't tell anybody that I'm going to help them learn about mental health. Don't tell anybody that I'm going to help them learn about social justice issues. Don't tell anybody that is a twin flame book, okay? But if you can talk about the story, don't give it away, because I've already snitched on myself and told so many things that you guys are not supposed to know. This is a series. And I'm not supposed to be telling y'all some of this stuff. You're not supposed to know that it's a twin flame series if I've given it away. Do you understand? So please don't give it away to anybody else. Okay? I made a mistake. All right. Okay. So, is that everything? That wasn't even the real thing. You guys, there is erotica in that book. If you don't like that stuff, do not read this book. Okay? Like, if you are not into erotica, yeah. I've been thinking about I've actually thought about it ever since I thought about this book concept years ago. I had this idea because I really wanted to make it accessible for people who, like me, don't like I don't like horror. I'm not comfortable with certain things, even though I watched them, like certain scary things. Like Criminal Minds was terrifying to me, but I watched all of it because Shamar Moore. So, plus it's a good story, and Reed and Penelope. But anyway, so like I was thinking maybe I could find a way to provide a printout And then all they would need to do is have those, those little tabbies that people put on legal documents or on books to create the little tab, where they could they could print out the document that tells them where the sex scenes or the scary scenes are. And they can like go in before they read the book and close off those chapters so they skip them, and then they just refer to their page and it says this person just got killed. And I'm like, no way, bro. That's too much. But I don't know, man. Don't judge me. I've had that thought in my mind for a very long time. And this is the first time I've explained it to someone other than Mr. Lightwork. And I still feel like it's a very poor decision. And I'm probably never going to do it. But you know what? Maybe someone will hear it and you will not be afraid and you will do it. And maybe you will change books forever. So thanks a lot, you thief. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm leaving. I love you guys. I'm getting loopy. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, don't forget, leave your comment signature in the comments below. Actually, I know a bunch of people have left already, so maybe I should do something special. Do they have tigers? First of all, okay, members. Members, if you're here, I want you to leave the DM sign, okay? So members, you are the only people who have access to the members emojis, okay? I want you to leave a DM in the comments, okay? But everyone else, I want you to leave a full moon, okay? All right. Remember, the chat disappears, but the comments stay. So you leave your comment signature in the comment section. And if you want to play the game of why is everybody posting that? Then if you're a member, you're going to leave a DM. And if you're a non-member, subscriber, or just, viewer, if you just chilling, if you're here, you a tribe, whatever, then you're going to leave a full moon. Okay. I'm going to leave.